What's up? I'm going to do a few comic reviews. I have 3 comics and I was trying to figure out how, covering the library barcode, how to package this as a video. And I realized I don't really care. I'll just call it 2021 graphic novels or something. These are some new ones. I just realized I've been kind of neglecting my channel. And so here we are with some book reviews. I haven't been neglecting videos. Actually, my other channel, Magic Atom, which you can subscribe to and help out a lot. I've been growing it. It's growing pretty well. It's growing well. It's about, well, I won't tell you, I actually hide the number of subscribers. I think I'm probably going to keep it hidden until about 1,000 subscribers, but it is growing every day, new subscribers, but you can help by subscribing if you want to hear me blather about magic and stuff. So anyways, let's look at these books. I was going to package this video as this book, this comic, this graphic novel, and the movie, The French Dispatch, which is the most recent movie by Wes Anderson. I watched it maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I don't know, a while ago, and I really enjoyed it, but the problem was that I drank a bottle of wine with it, and I don't remember a lot of the movie, so I was thinking should probably watch it again. Anyways, I'm not going to review that at this point. I'll talk about it later maybe, but let's look at Goodnight Hem, because it does have some overlap, I guess. That was my thinking at the time. Here's some art. Jason is an artist who I've read quite a bit of. I think I've read all of his books, maybe. Somehow that happened. I guess I like him enough to read all his books. He's got, I don't know, maybe 10 or something. And you notice he uses these characters, which are like animal people. That's kind of his thing. He doesn't really do humans. They all kind of look, that's part of the problem though, is they all kind of look alike. And it can be a little confusing who's who. I mean, he tries to distinguish them. Some of his books are in color, this one is not. And that makes it even more difficult to distinguish who is who. I have to say that this was okay, but I feel like I liked him more in his early short story phase. Like, what was the one? There's one with a moon in the title. What's it called? Goodnight Moon? No, it's not Goodnight Moon. It is Goodnight Hem. What is? I'm trying to find the page with all these titles. I got to keep filling up content with words because I'm not going to do any jump cuts. And I know it's important. I want to keep you watching to, I don't know, whatever. He has another book about the moon. Hey, wait, that's a book that he wrote with short stories. I just like that format. I think he's really good at that short story format. Some of his longer ones are good too, though, and this one's not bad. It's about, Hem is Ernest Hemingway. I didn't mention that. This is like it's in several sections, and each section can be in a different time in Hemingway's life. Semi-fictionalized account of Hemingway. If you really like Hemingway, I guess this is a good book. Not semi-autobiographical, semi-factual. Anyways, next book. This one is called, again, I'm covering the library part here. Let's not talk anymore. Let's not talk anymore. This is the first book I've read by Weng Pixin. I think that's her name. Yeah, so it's in color. I don't know if it's painted or how she does this. It's an interesting style I would say I like the art more than the story. The story was okay, but it was a little too much realism for me. I'm not a fan of realism. Even like, no, I would say Jason is less, he has a nice sense of mixing the real with the imaginary. But Weng Pixin, this is kind of 5 stories about this generation. Each one's like a woman, a teenager, that era of her life, like 1908, 1932, something, jumps around. Anyways, there's even a future one, 2032, with her daughter or something. And yeah, you can see the art's pretty simple. Published by Drawn and Quarterly, which is probably the main reason that I checked it out, because I think Drawn and Quarterly and Fantagraphics are my favorite comics publishers. And yeah, I don't know, I feel a little lukewarm about this one too. I mean, there are parts about it I liked. I liked the way that she navigates moments, and I like the art. I think I prefer, if there's a theme in these three books that I'm reviewing, that they're not realistic art. And so sometimes, I think that's one thing I've noticed about comics, or I perceive about comics, is it doesn't really matter if it's realistic or not. It's as long as it includes all the information and it does it in a way that is true to the author's kind of perspective on the world and their voice. Then I showed that page. I showed that page too. This book's opening to the same pages. Then I think that's what matters. Like, you may be like, oh, that painting's not very sophisticated. That's so simple. But when you get going with it, comics isn't about how realistic things. There are realistic comics artists, but I think a lot of the best comics artists are not realists. Okay, anyways, let's not talk anymore. What was I going to say about this? She has another book, and I think it's curious. Like, I didn't love the book, but I liked it, and it was, even though it's like probably a few hundred pages, I read it in, I don't know, maybe a half hour or something. Pretty easy to breeze through, and I'm intrigued enough by her to say if I have a chance to read her other book, I will, and any future books. Okay, next book, final book in this little episode. This one is my first time reading Noah Van Sciver, and the title is Don't Step on My JNCO Jeans. I think it's the title. And my overall impression, a lot of these are little one-page things. My overall impression of him is that his personality, and yeah, a lot of it is very much reminds me of kind of two things: Peanuts, Charles Schultz, Charlie Brown, that kind of character, and Robert Crumb. If you can imagine, I think that both of the main narrators or characters in a lot of Crumb comics, or Crumb himself when he shows up in his comics, and Charlie Brown have this kind of really kind of bleak, depressed view of the world, and they somehow convert that into humor, and that's kind of what Noah Van Sciver does too. And again, you can see his art, very simple art, but I liked it. I liked it quite a bit, actually. I think maybe of these three, this one was my favorite, and I would like to read more by this guy. He has a YouTube channel. He hasn't updated in a while. He used to do interviews and stuff, but yeah, he has a book called Fanty Bukowski. I think that I'd like to. I think that one got Eisner or something, Eisner Awards. So that would be maybe my best thing, the next thing that I would check out by him if I do. But I like this. This is very easy to read, like 100 pages. Just a lot of, you could pick up any page and just start reading, and little short gags, and they all have this kind of I don't even know how. It reminds me of a lot of things. Like I see just a lot of the voices when you read a lot of these artists that know each other, and you can see their voices mixing. But he is unique. He has his own unique style. But I would like to see a longer work. I think I enjoyed this short format, but I'd be curious to see what he does in a longer work. So maybe I'll talk about that in a future episode of Comics with Adam or something, whatever this is called. Bye.